All right, guys, we got ourselves a new Candace Owens update, and this one's actually interesting because for once in her life, she actually dropped some receipts. I was watching another YouTuber named Mark Dice, and he was talking about how Candace Owens is like a broken clock. Like she's only right twice a day. Like she's very rarely right, but that's what's scary about people like her and these conspiracy people is because most of what they say is complete BS, completely wrong, makes no sense. But every once in a while, they'll drop just a hint of truth or maybe one or two receipts. And then people run with that. And they're like, oh, my God, they're right. They're right. They know everything. Oh, my God, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, this is the receipt that Candace Owens finally dropped, which is what I've been waiting for. My biggest gripe with Candace Owens and this whole Charlie Kirk conspiracy and Turning Point USA had him killed, which is utterly ridiculous. And if you believe that, you're crazy. I'm sorry. You're freaking crazy if you really think that his own people killed him. I don't. I just don't. Sorry, I don't. It just doesn't make sense. But these are the text messages that Candace Owens did drop. And you can see right here, it says from Charlie Kirk, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker Carlson. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody says, Then Charlie Kirk says Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And then somebody said, please don't invite Candace. This might feel good short term, but it's not good long term, in my opinion. Like all groups, you're going to get wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times. Okay, so we got these text messages basically trying to show that Charlie Kirk was starting to slowly pivot away from his support of Israel and the pro-Israel stance, kind of how he says in the second part right here that leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And at first, you had a bunch of big accounts on Twitter, people with huge followings saying that the messages are fake. I'll pay X amount of money if you could prove that the messages are real. And then Andrew Covid, I believe he's the producer of Turning Point USA, came out and actually admitted that those messages were real.
But I want to take the start of this show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange.
Okay. So as he says there, it was a private exchange, right? Okay, cool. So he says he didn't share because it was a private exchange. He admits that the messages were real. Even though she dropped the receipt that Charlie was changing his stance on Israel, okay, fine, right? Fine. You finally got something, Candace. You finally got something. You say that Charlie was eventually going to leave Israel or his pro-Israel stance. And because of that, I guess the conspiracy is they turned on him and they had to take him out, whatever her crazy conspiracy is. And it's like, okay, well, you got a little something here, a little something. It doesn't really prove anything, but you at least got proof that he was actually considering changing his pro-Israel stance. Fine. But then she goes back off her rocker and loses her mind by saying this.
Like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. And
we don't believe that. At least those of us who are normal and have sense don't believe that. No, Candace, we don't believe that Charlie Kirk came to you in a dream over the weekend and told you in the dream, Candace, my savior, Candace Owens, I was betrayed. You got to speak up for me. You have to tell the world that I was betrayed by Turning Point USA. No, we don't believe that crap. No. Does anybody believe that? Really? You believe that? What is she, a prophet now? Or is she Moses? What was the guy, Joseph in the Bible, who had the dreams? So you're Joseph now. You got people coming to you in dreams talking about I was betrayed, Candace. Only you, the prophet that was chosen by God, can save me. You have to tell the world. Like, this is insane. Charlie came to you in a dream. Like, what BS? Like, come on, people. Come on, people. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't understand. I really don't get it. I don't mind her having a huge following. I understand why she has a huge following. I understand why people like her. I like her. I just think that these conspiracies around Charlie Kirk's death are so dumb, and I just have to speak about it. You know why? Because I'm not a freaking hack, okay? Just because I like her doesn't mean that I can't be critical of her. Just because I agree with a lot of what she says doesn't mean that I have to agree with everything. I think that a lot of what she says is great. But in this particular instance, she is just every single day, she's just destroying her credibility, at least among people who have a brain. The other people, you know, I get the comment. I'm probably going to get comments under this video. You don't know what you're talking about. You didn't do any research. You don't know anything. He was betrayed. His people betrayed him with no proof. No proof. Just a bunch of crap. It's crazy. Let's play the whole thing.
Like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. And it was the immediate sense I got, actually. And I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it is soon going to be revealed, that it's actually inevitable that it is going to be revealed, that there is nothing and no one that is going to stop the truth from coming out, and it is going to have international consequences. Take that to the bank. Quote me on that.
Folks, and again, I'm talking to the folks who have this and use it. You know, the folks who don't have this and use it, you're not going to agree with me, and I don't care. Folks, there's no conspiracy. I'm sorry. I haven't seen any proof. Maybe there is, but I haven't seen any proof of it. So until I see proof, I'm going to say, folks, there is no conspiracy. Anybody can get shot by any time, by anybody. This country has guns. This country also has crazy, insane, radical people. Guess what? If you do an event outside, your 6 security guards around you cannot stop somebody from shooting you from 200 yards away with a rifle. It's that simple. You got to start having your stuff inside. If you're going to have these events and you're a controversial figure and people are protesting you coming on the campus, you got to start having your stuff inside. It's really that simple. There wasn't a sophisticated government, weird, secret alien conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk. No. Crazy guy goes up on the roof. He didn't like him. He killed him. That simple. Yes, I know it's so shocking to believe that public figures can easily get killed, but they can. They really can. Unless you're like the president or the vice president, or you're like a multi-billionaire like Elon Musk or something. Yes, you can easily get killed. Even Elon Musk isn't safe, dare I say. Unless you're securing the perimeter blocks around, which they don't even do for Elon Musk. Yes, somebody can get on a rifle and shoot you if they wanted to. They could kill a Elon or a Mark, what's the guy's name? Not Mark Cuban. I don't even know. I can't remember the guy's name, but whatever. The Facebook guy, Zuckerberg, that's his name. Those guys can easily get killed by people. I'm not advocating for this. No, please. I'm not. But I'm just saying it is really easy for basically any public figure to get killed unless you're like the president or you have the resources to protect you from people who are willing to get on a roof and shoot you. It's just that simple. If you don't have you can have 20 security guards around you. It won't stop somebody who's 200 yards away from shooting you with a rifle. Like, it's really that easy to kill somebody. That should be the real wake-up call. Instead of all these dumb conspiracy theories, the real wake-up call should be the rise of mental health. I don't know what's going on, but there are more mass shootings and shootings, period, and assassinations happening right now than ever in history. And I think the main factor attributed to it is too many people are just way too seeped into online. They're too terminally online, and they have mental health issues that are not being treated. We need more mental health services because we are in a serious mental health crisis in this country. Okay, let's move on. So you also have Candace Owens and a guy named Nick Fuentes who have been going at it. Now, Nick Fuentes has been going after Candace Owens for quite a while now. Candace Owens hasn't responded too much, but she finally did respond, and she's saying that Nick Fuentes is a Fed, an agent, I guess. Let's take a listen to what she has to say.
Anything grasping at straws. Nick Fuentes, our routine federal informant, writes this. Why did she sit on this for 4 weeks and then censor the other names? So just grasping at straws. Just grasping at straws here. And he followed that up by taking a stab at Charlie Kirk, who's dead. Charlie Kirk said he had no choice to leave the pro-Israel cause because a Jewish donor stopped giving him millions of dollars. What a coincidence. He had his great epiphany about Israel after they stopped paying him to shill. Speaking of paying people to shill, it's why I didn't take 1 minute or 1 sentence, rather, of him trying to eulogize Charlie Kirk seriously, because that right there is the real Nick Fuentes. The quartering jumped in. He says, a serious question. Let's assume the texts are real and that Charlie was 100% serious and not just being sarcastic, which is totally possible. What exactly does this prove? Think before you reply. What does it prove other than someone close to him was fine leaking his texts? That's been their new talking point. How dare you leak text messages? And finally, this is just funny, so we're going to show you this. Community notes for the win. The Misfit Patriot writes, I will give Candace every single shekel Israel has paid me for my posts if she can prove those text messages are real. Update, says Community Notes. Andrew Colvett confirmed the screen grab was real. Of course it was real. But I mean, I would have to be the dumbest person ever. First off, I'm not even inclined towards tech, but...
Yeah, I do agree with her there. She's not an idiot, guys. That's the one thing I'll give her. She's not an idiot. She's crazy on this part right here with the whole conspiracy. I think she's crazy with that. But she's not an idiot. She's not going to share text messages that are fake like a dummy. She's not stupid. Like, she knew to authenticate and know for a fact whether those text messages were real before she shared them. She definitely did. So I'll give her that. But I'm still not sold. I don't know how you guys feel. I still think this whole thing is crazy. It's a shame that this is going on for so long, but she has such a huge following. That's just what it is. She actually, now that I think about it, besides Trump, she might have the biggest following on the right. I'm talking about in terms of just like active viewership. Like, have you seen the amount of views her live streams get? She might have the biggest viewership on the right. She just might. I can't think of anybody else. I know Charlie Kirk had huge viewership before he got assassinated. I know Patrick Bet-David, his views are huge. And I know there's a few other people. But she might have the biggest right now. And the fact that she has the biggest and she's going on these conspiracies and so many people are falling for it, that's why there's still attention on this. Like, she's like way bigger than Alex Jones ever was. Like, don't get me wrong. Alex Jones at one point was ginormous. But he's still a big deal, but he's not the top dog anymore. She's kind of like replaced him in terms of like the main conspiracy person on the right who's just like number one. It's her. And it's sad because I don't mind conspiracies if you have receipts. But the problem is there's no receipts. You're just showing us text messages that are saying Charlie Kirk was shifting his stance for pro-Israel. That's all you got? That's it? I'm going to need more than that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, by the way, please subscribe to the channel. Like, holy cow. Can we get 2,000 subscribers on this second channel? Can we do it? Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.